I'm excited to get to have this discussion with you. You'd already posted the blog post that we've seen discussing the rise in deepfake content that is going on within Europe. And I just wanted to have the discussion to see what your thoughts are, what projections are, and where that'll be going for the future.
Sure, I'm very happy that you invited me for this conversation. I think that the topic is extremely important and active in not only in Europe, also actually statistics show that United States are suffering much more than Europe from this topic. But I think that all over the world, we can see the rise in fraudulent behavior in remote work. And this is one of the reasons why many companies try to avoid remote work, because, you can't fake it if you are in the office. So obviously, the more frightened managers or companies that have less experience how to prevent this kind of manipulation prefer to see people in the office. Of course, I'm speaking here mainly about the IT industry, where people can actually work from any point of the world if they have decent tools for work. So they don't really have to be in the office.
Yeah, especially from COVID with the rise in remote work, it's been such a crazy topic to have to discuss. I mean, in your blog post, for example, you've now done thousands of interviews. You've mentioned some of the instincts from thousands of interviews being tested. Could you share the moment you first realized interview fraud had escalated beyond exaggeration to actual AI-driven deception?
Thank you for asking me this question. Yes, I'll be very happy to share with you. There was this incident that opened my eyes that such things exist and it happened like 3 years ago when we started GigsRemote. And there was a candidate, someone who contacted us. We didn't have open roles or anything at that time, but the guy contacted us proactively. He had a profile on LinkedIn, of course. He showed that he was a software developer, a very experienced one, full stack developer from Serbia. Everything looked really well, very nice profile, and everything was almost perfect. Like, obviously the guy paid attention how his profile looks like. And he contacted us. We invited him for interview. So since one of my native languages is Serbian, I decided that it's the most natural thing when I meet somebody from Serbia to start speaking in our common language. And I told him, hello, how are you? The moment I did it, the guy ran away from the interview. I have to mention that he joined without a camera. And in the beginning, we decided that all our interviews and meetings with people will be with camera turned on, because in GigsRemote, we really want to know who we work with. It applies to both companies and candidates and freelancers. But when somebody shows up without camera turned on, in the beginning, I wouldn't tell them immediately to turn it. Like, I wanted to be careful how I behave with people. But in the end, we realized that it's really a must. This was the first signal. He didn't show his camera, his face. But then the fact that the person just disappeared, it was shocking. I thought, what the heck? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Maybe it's unnatural to people. Now, when you think of it, why would it be unnatural? And now, after almost three years working only remotely and meeting people only remotely, I realized that if someone comes without camera, it's like joining on-site meeting where you go with something in front of your face. Like, would you go like this to meet people in the office? You wouldn't.
Yeah, and I mean, recently, deepfake technology has sparked great conversation. Has this been an experience that you've also gone through, Yasmina?
Oh, yes. I thought I would never I would never be in such situation, because I created myself guidelines for myself and for other colleagues how to spot potential fakes. So I really minimized the number of encountering people who are obviously fake. But I did have such a situation, and it was really shocking. It felt so crazy and weird. There was a guy with, again, Central European name, and he turned on his camera during our call, and everything was wow. Okay, his background was golden leaves of field on the field, like a golden field. It was autumn. It was like some kind of I don't know, bad taste wallpaper. His face was like perfect proportions, perfectly symmetrical, white skin, blue eyes, dark hair. It was crying, I'm like a Hollywood star. And the most freaking thing actually was that his mouth moved almost the same way all the time. It totally didn't reflect how the words that he was saying. But okay, you can say that this is a problem of internet.
Mm-hmm.
And the next moment I realized there's something even more freaking, and it was that his eyes were not moving at all. He wasn't blinking. I caught myself spending like 5 minutes trying to catch a blink of an eye, and I realized that the person is not blinking at all. So, not to mention that the things that he was talking about were so not connecting and not really reflecting the questions I was asking. It was really weird.
That is so weird. And AI is just getting crazier by the day. We were discussing, of course, with Metodi earlier about how Vio and Google's Gemini, how good their video creation is getting. And yeah, it's good that companies like GigsRemote are really ramping up and making sure they know what the signals are in detecting this kind of technology. And I guess, Yasmina, what are some of the signals that you're beginning to recognize in detecting fraudulent candidates within the interview process?
Well, let's start with what you mentioned. Like AI is getting really better and better every day. I remember this TikTok guy who had Tom Cruise clips created by, he replaced his face with Tom Cruise face, and it was viral during the COVID. But the most dangerous thing is that AI is getting really better and better every day. So that means that people will actually very soon be able to fake it so well that all the things that I'm telling to you about will not really be helpful, because there will be better speed. You know, all the things that I'm talking about, they will be solved by the people who are working on creating good deep fake. So it's going to be more and more dangerous. I think that soon we will have to use only AI to discover who's actually being fraudulent and what's reality and what's not. Once all these things become so easy to manipulate.
Yeah. Yasmina, how do you at GigsRemote guarantee to your clients that you know who works on their projects?
The whole process of building the network of trusted and vetted freelancers in GigsRemote is created together with the business model as a larger frame, in a way to make sure that we know who are both our clients that we work with and people, freelancers that we connect with our clients. So one of the things is that we are focused on markets that we know better. Let's say in Bulgaria and Eastern and Central European countries, we know the market, we know how they work. We actually also know a lot of people. The fact that the team has, almost everyone in the team has like 20 plus years of experience in these markets, shows that we have stable network. Like we can easily find somebody who knows somebody, and sometimes people who register and we work with are old colleagues, or somebody had some personal connection with them a long time ago or at some point. In the other hand, we also work with people who are verified in a way that they went through our process of vetting, and that doesn't mean just simply finding out if they have experience that they talk about. It's also verifying that we can trust them and they go through our legal process. Like, for example, after the introductory call with every freelancer that registers on our website, we have to make data verification. We ask them to show us their ID card. It may sound weird to somebody, but you know, it kills two things at the same time. It kills the doubt that the person is who they claim they are, instead of asking them to, you know, I've read this advice somewhere, if you have doubts that a person is using deepfake to manipulate how they look and steal somebody's identity, if we ask them to show us their document, they need to do it without background and without any background effect in video call. Obviously, you cannot use deepfake this way, because especially when you show a document, you play with the focus, and it's very, very natural, like some maybe even conservative. In the other hand, the legal frame is made in such a way that people are very responsibly taking their role of becoming member of freelancing network of GigsRemote. So even prior to going to interviewing with clients, they need to have NDA with us, partnership collaboration agreement, etc.
That is very interesting. It does help being based in Eastern Europe, where a lot of the languages are Slavic, and so even if you've got, for example, a Bulgarian with a Polish person, you can to some extent, just by speaking to them in their own language, start to get a grasp that absolutely. Yasmina, thank you so much for the conversation and for all the great work that you're doing at Gigs Remote nowadays.
Thank you, Andre. It was a pleasure talking to you.